Hey, I'm Matt Palmer with Hog Trap Trigger, and today I figured I'd try to do a cooking video for y'all. Not that I'm the best cook, but I have found a pretty decent way to make the hog meat taste really good. And I do have a lot of people say, well, do you ever find worms in it? Isn't it nasty? I find it to be very flavorful. And I'm going to try to add some nutritional facts, maybe in the comment section of the video, to where y'all can research it and look for yourself. It's very low in cholesterol, so people with heart issues, they can't have pork. They can actually eat wild boar. It's pretty healthy for you. It's low in cholesterol. I think it's high in zinc, high in vitamin B, high in iron. It's actually really lean and good meat for you, especially if you're kind of organic minded. There's no hormones added. There's no steroids. There's nothing. It's all from the ground. I have found that some of the wild hogs seem to be a little cleaner in different parts of the country. Down here in Alabama, there's a bunch of water, so I find that they seem to be a lot cleaner than some of the ones that I find out in Texas that don't seem to have as much water in drier areas. But either way, they both taste very, very good, and it's great meat. So normally what I do when I clean the animal, I try to make sure that I keep as much any kind of dirt, hair, anything besides just the meat off the meat. And some people have food savers to freezer seal it. If you don't have that, normally what I do is I just take a gallon Ziploc bag, I put the meat in the bag and fill it up with water around it, and then put it in the freezer to freeze. And it seems to keep good for at least a year, but I normally eat it faster than that. But so you thaw it out, once it's thawed, go through it, get any kind of grizzle off of it. I leave some of the fat. Some people take the fat off, they don't like it, but if there's a little bit of fat left on the meat, personally I kind of like it. But that's just, I guess to each their own. If you don't really like it, take it off. If you like it, leave it. It's not real slimy like regular pork fat. It's kind of got a different texture to it, but anyhow, so take the grizzle off of it, get it all cleaned up, and I normally will put it in a cookie sheet and let it sit and dry for 20 minutes or so. Any of that water that's still stuck in the meat or from freezing it in the water, kind of drain out of it, and I drain that off the bottom of the pan. And then from there, what I'll do is here recently I've switched over to using this stubbs sea salt, paprika, garlic dry rub, and then I add a little more garlic because I like it, and honey and soy sauce, and that's kind of what I've been marinating the meat in here recently, and it's pretty good. So you just want to take the stubbs and cover it on all sides real good. You don't have to be real lenient with it. Just cover it real good with seasoning. You want to do it. And once you get the stubbs dry rub on it, I go back and add a little more garlic. Then once you get the dry rub on there and the garlic, I go with the honey. The honey adds like a little bit of sweetness to it. It's not not quite sugary, but you've got the saltiness, I guess, of the garlic and soy sauce with the sweet, so it's kind of sweet and salty. All right, then I'll flip it back over, and then I didn't add the garlic on the front side, so I'm gonna add a little garlic on the top side. Add the honey. Then put the soy sauce on there. And I'd recommend, letting it marinate for at least 30 minutes in the refrigerator. I'm probably going to let this sit most of the day, but really 30 minutes at least. All right, so now that we've let the marinade sit, for at least 30 minutes. I let it sit all day, just because I didn't have time earlier to watch it or babysit in the oven. A lot of times, once I let it sit, if it looks kind of weak on the marinade, that after it's kind of sat, I'll normally add just a little more honey.
I think that's not a little.
It might have been a lot, but that's okay. And might even add a little more seasoning too. But after doing that, I cover it. I cover it in tinfoil. Well, actually, before I cover it in tinfoil, I put meat probes in it so I can monitor the meat. There you go.
You put it in the most fattest
And I
part?
normally put the probe in the fattest part of the meat, to where I know everything else will be ready once it shows the temperature we're wanting. So normally what we'll do is we'll run it at, I normally start it off at like 185 in the oven, 185, 190, somewhere in that range, and watch the thermometer until it hits about 115, 120 degrees, and then once it does that, I'll turn the oven up to 350. So start it off at 185, and then once the temperature of the meat gets about 120, turn it up to 350 or 375, and then watch it. And I normally take them out when they're showing between 160 and 165. Is about the sweet spot that I like them, is in that range of 165, 160 to 165, and that's a safe range for wild boar. So we're just gonna cover it back up with tin foil, try to hold the heat and moisture in on it. You getting tired, baby?
Sort of.
Yeah, it's getting late. That's bedtime.
I don't think I have that.
Yeah, you do.
Now it's the hunting camp.
Well, we're not at the hunting camp. We got school.
He said it was 13 o'clock once.
Do what?
He said it was 13 o'clock once.
Yeah.
I was like, that makes 1 o'clock.
Alright, so we're going to put it in the oven. Set it up there like that. That way we can just monitor it.
Yeah, you remember with that crab? What happened with the blue crab?
and so once like I said, once it gets up to 120, we'll go ahead and we'll turn the heat up on the oven. probably be another 2 hours, hour and a half, 2 hours, somewhere in there. All right, so now the meat's up to 120, 123, 125 in that area. So now I'm gonna bump it up to 350. These actually got a little warmer than I wanted. I wanted them to stop at about 165. I got up to about 170, which I think they'll still be fine. But like other meat, I let it sit there for at least 10 minutes and cool. And then from there, we'll try them here in a minute, see what they taste like. They smell great. And I'll also tell you the juice, what to do with the juice that's in the bottom of the pan. Because you pour that back over the meat and golly, it's just got a great flavor with all the marinade and everything in it. You mix it back in there with the meat once you cut it off the bone. I'm excited about it. We'll give it about 10 minutes to sweat it out, and then we'll start peeling it, deboning it, and getting it off the bone, and trying some and cutting it up. All right. Now it's time to taste it. Dip it in some of that liquid down in there. That is so good. Wonder what I'll do. These are shoulders. So I'll come in right in front of that front knee and just follow the edge of the bone and get a pretty good chunk of meat out of there. And then this, the shoulder plate, it's kind of got a ridge in it. You got to find that ridge and you can kind of cut back up underneath it. You can also get lucky and just pull it off with a fork if you want also. Oh my goodness, it's so good. Yeah, this is so, look at how wet that is. I had to bring that over. Can you see that? The glisten. A lot of people think, wild meat is dry. And it can be if you overcook it. But if you cook it right, man, you can keep the moisture in it. So good. And this marinade, that garlic and stubbs and honey, it's a great mixture. I've definitely, I've had a lot of people that never had hog meat before or ever wanted to try it. Talked them into trying it, and they almost always asked for more. I've just been so surprised with how good it actually tastes and how healthy it is. With this COVID going on and everything, people taking zinc, it's high in zinc. I mean, it's actually really good healthy meat, especially if you care about organic stuff and non-GMOs and no steroids and all those different things that are in a lot of the food nowadays. So. So a lot of times that's all I do is I'll pick it off the bone and then I'll cut it up. And what's crazy is, you know, there's a lot of people I talk to, they just kill them and let them lay, just trying to protect their property, just because they're so destructive and they have no clue what they're missing out on and how good the meat is. Or how to cook it or how to clean it. A lot of times people don't want to fool with it. But see, like this one here, this part here, I left a little fat on it. A lot of people cut the fat off. I guess that's fine, but I sure like it. Then a lot of times we just take the pan and pour a lot of this over the top of it. Just let it soak in it and marinate. You obviously don't have to do that. I like it because it just adds even more flavor to it, but it's very flavorful. It's kind of got a, you know, it's sweet and salty, and it's kind of got a nutty flavor with the meat. But that's what I do. So I hope this video may encourage some of y'all to try it if you haven't in the past. And for others that have tried it and don't like it, maybe you'll give it another shot and try it again with this recipe. I really like it, as you can see. But let me know if you got any questions. You can put them in the comments, and I'll try to add some of the nutritional facts and on wild boar meat and some of the stuff. So if y'all are kind of unsure, or, you know, not sure about it, you know, one of the other things, it has less cholesterol than chicken, which is pretty amazing in my opinion. Because I always thought chicken was pretty healthy. And so anyhow, I hope this helps y'all. I hope it gives you a way to cook it if you didn't already have one, and it maybe opens your eyes if you already aren't eating it on a regular basis, but you like hunting them. And of course, you can always take it to the processor and have them make sausage and hamburger and whatever else out of them. But you know, I guess when some people, if you only kill 1 or 2 a year, you know, it definitely justifies that, you know, expense. But we sure kill a whole lot more than that. And so because of that, you know, normally all we'll do is we'll quarter them out and get the back straps and whatever else off of them we can, and fill our freezer. And once it gets full, then we start giving everything else out, you know, give it to everyone else, and just keep the circle going. You know, there's a lot of people that you know, it helps supplement their food, you know, their grocery bill, which has gotten pretty outrageous. And so plus I'll, you know, have friends or people that are cooking for, you know, family reunions and bigger stuff that need some extra meat, you know, to help supplement the cost of the party. Happy to help, you know. really enjoy trapping the hogs and eating them and making it a part of my daily life if possible. So, hope this helps y'all. Y'all take it easy. Have a good one.